This morning, Mr. Rujaya introduced three Korean speakers, but I will inform you that 2.5 Korean, because I am half Asian, Southeast Asian. Because if you check my name, my name is Utak Chung. Anybody from Philippines or the Indonesia, Malaysia? So Bahasa Indonesia or Tagalog. Utak is, yeah, you understand, My family name, my first name, the half, my name is in Tagalog, Bahasa Indonesia, brain, smart. So it's very easy to remember me. And also I love Southeast Asia. I confess that in a year, half of my year, I stay in Southeast Asia. A few weeks ago, I was in Bangkok, and before I was in Manila and Jakarta and Singapore. So I know some your university, your centers. I went to the Nanyang University of Technology at that time, and also, yeah, you are very familiar, not personally, but your institution or the university. And my main area is Southeast Asia. As you know, the already has my center, UNESCO Asia Pacific Center. Asia Pacific means we cover all Asia Pacific countries, mainly the Southeast Asia. So that's why I'm invited by this SEAMEO SPAFA to deliver the speech on this global citizenship education. Okay. Oh, how do you? One by one? Oh. Okay. My presentation consists of four. One is what is 21st century. You already know well what is 21st century. And who are the global citizen? You are the global citizen. You will be the global citizen. And part three, global citizenship education. And last one is, this is what additional one. I will share the information on international organization and UN system, UNESCO and APSEU. Oh, this is not. This, okay, change this. This is better, yeah. I will use it. Yeah. Yeah, please. Yeah. This one? Yeah. Okay, what is 21st century? This is this is common sense. 21st century is era of globalization, as you know well. The world is smaller and smaller. Yesterday, I arrived in Bangkok from Seoul, only 5 hours. 5 hours means in the US, the west coast to east coast, it takes 6 hours. So it means all the Korea and Southeast Asia, all not very far from, all in terms of distance. As you see, the world is smaller and smaller. Physical, what Earth is not changed, but by the developments of rapid developments of technology, the world is smaller and smaller, and we are living in a global village. So before it was only rhetoric, but today, really we are living in a global village. So as you see in this meeting room, you just joined in this Youth Leaders Forum from all of the Southeast Asian countries. This is a real global village. Even though you are you have your own nationalities, you are Indonesian, you are the Malaysian and Thai, but almost we are transforming from those national state to global town. This morning, the keynote speaker already mentioned that the human population is increasing now. 60, he told me 6,000 million, and to predict 9,000 million. So the population is increasing, as you see, just only 1 century. By this population increase, as you see, the world is very, very crowded. This is a picture taken in California, the expressway in California, the United States. So in the USA, the car is like shoes. Everybody has a car. Without car, they can't move. Yeah. But if we have a same life pattern in India, in China, the world cannot survive. So this is a very serious problem. By this population increase, the global warming is top challenge in current world. So by these colors, if we keep the Western patterns of production and consumption, we need for Earth by 2050. Can you create Earth now? Yeah, impossible, So 2010, 2100, we need 5 planets. So what shall we do? What is the solution? We cannot create Earth. Then we have to change our lifestyle. Do you agree there? We have to. This morning, we had a very insightful keynote speech by Dr. Smet. So I fully agree with him. We have to think about our lifestyle, and we have to change our lifestyle. Yeah. That's why we gather here and discuss. Today in the world, the biggest challenge is the serious gap between rich and poor countries. Each country has the same problem, the gap between rich and poor. The same thing happened in the world. The rich country and poor country, the gap is like this. As you see, only those North American region, Canada and United States, Western Europe, and Japan, South Korea, China. This is a very heavy economy like this. But the others, the African countries, the South Asia, the India and all those South Asia and Latin American countries, so like this. Yeah. But those under the 5-year-old, those child deaths by disease, the map is like this. All focus on Africa and Asia, South Asia. So world is so big cleavage between rich country and poor country, rich continent and poor continent. This is a big challenge today. And conflicts and dispute areas. I don't have time to. I skip this one. So, 21st century. If we pick up the salient feature of 21st century, I think those 4 words. First one is interconnectedness. The world is interconnected. So before the 18th century, 17th century, the nation state was like individuals, what separate from the others. But today, we are living all together. So it's what very much interconnected. It means networking, or every networking is the salient feature of 21st century. And also we need not only the hard power, but soft power, so-called smart power. So this is what the 21st century characteristics. And also we are living in a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-religion society, community. So this is 21st century. So who are the global citizens? I think you will be the global citizen. 2030, 2050, the world is not like this. Today, the world, more than 200 countries, but 21st century, by 2030, 2050, all those world is, we cannot imagine that the world will be more globally connected. So in the sense, we have to catch up those new phenomena. So what is the qualification for global citizens? There are two things. One is cognitive skill. The second is non-cognitive skill. Cognitive skill is well known, the academic knowledge and all those things. So in cognitive skill, we need knowledge on global issues. Later, I will introduce what the global issues are. Non-cognitive skill, we need those characteristics: empathy, sympathy, care, communication skill, tolerance, mutual understanding. All those non-cognitive skills were not very much emphasized by the education community. So only the cognitive skill emphasized by the country and society. The good example is the OECD annually conduct PISA, all those survey on academic knowledge. So they introduced the PISA, the ranking to the world. So that is one good example. But there's no any survey on those non-cognitive skills. But in the 21st century, this is very much different society. 21st century need those kinds of skills. So in terms of non-cognitive skill, Southeast Asians are more, how can I say, you have a better position than the other countries, Northeast Asia, China, Japan, Korea. But if you think about those one by one, empathy, sympathy, care, communication skill, tolerance, mutual understanding, I think Southeast Asian has more potential than Northeast Asian or other people living in other continents. Do you agree with me? Yeah. So we can discuss about this non-cognitive skill. What is global issues? What are those global issues? I am a part-time lecturer in Korea. This is one semester syllabus, the 16th week. So I touch all those issues: peace and war, poverty and development, including MDG, ODA, official development assistance, very important issues in today, and sustainable development, education for sustainable development, ESD, climate change issue, biodiversity, and human rights, human security, sustainable consumption and production, energy, renewable energy issues actually heal all those current society today. Migration issue, migration and migrant workers, and multiculturalism and cultural diversity, and language diversity. The last one is international organization, international governance. Those governance, global governance, international organization, UN system, and NGOs. This is my lecture in university. I touch all those areas. So this is, I believe this is global issues. And also you can add one or more, 5 or 6 more. Okay, only I will touch several issues, not all those 15 or 16 issues, only 4 or 5. The first one is peace and war. This is very sensitive issue. When I teach, when I have a class in those issues, peace and war, most difficult time to discuss peace and war issues. This is very sensitive. In Asia, as you know, the ongoing issues like this. So you are Indonesian, Filipino, Malaysian, and all those countries, you are from your own country. So how can we discuss on peace and conflicts issues without any prejudice, without any your own ideology? So as you see in Asia, the current issues such as the Diaoyu Islands, Senkaku Island is between Japan and China. Spratly Island, Vietnam and China, and all those many countries are involved in this issue. And Thailand, you have the southern part of Thailand, and also the Cambodian border, Cambodia and Thailand, there's some issue. Myanmar, Myanmar, all those, the Myanmar and Bangladesh, and those religion and issues, Nepal and Kashmir and Afghanistan. Still, we have a lot of peace and conflict issues in Asia. And also, as you know, in Japan, there's some natural disaster. And in Korean Peninsula, my country, I'm living in a everyday tension between North and South. So I'm very, very difficult. When you ask me, how about your own opinion, the relationship between North and South? So I cannot answer well on those questions. It's my lingering concern and question. And also, as you seen before, continuing poverty and hunger issue in Asia. This is Spratly Island, Senkaku Island. What happened? Yes, this is last year. It was shocking when I read a newspaper article, International Herald Tribune last year. There's a dispute in Sabah, the southern part of Philippines. Insist this is historically part of Philippines and Malaysia. Oh no, this is Malaysian territory. So Malaysia bombed and killed by airstrike by 30 all those Filipino in this area. So this is a very striking news for me. Yeah. Myanmar, there's still ongoing issue. Rohingya people in Rakhine State. So there are some participants from Myanmar. You know better than me. And Thailand, Patani region. Okay, so we face we face all those very sensitive issues. We have to discuss with all those issues with other participants. So this is very important. Not avoid any sensitive issues, we have to discuss that. And human rights. This is real 21st century competencies. So you have to have a high sensitivity on human rights issues. In the world, we already had a lot of international standard setting like this. Universal Declaration of Human Rights, it's adopted in 1948. All those 30 articles, you have to study and study. All those 60, 70 years ago, we already adopted a very good guideline on human rights. And also we have all those international bills of rights. And also the cultural diversity. We have such an perspective. We respect the difference and cultural diversity. This is very important. Yeah. How can we have such a cultural diversity? One of the key is cultural relativism. There's no any superior culture. There's no inferior culture. You know, it's a very relative term. Each country has different culture. We have to respect the differences. This is the basic, the starting point. Yeah. When I went to the Myanmar, this is very unfamiliar for me. So finally, I understand that this is one of sun cream, natural sun cream in Myanmar. So Myanmar people has yellow, all those Tanaka on the cheek, but Koreans cannot understand, and the other Southeast Asians don't know much about these different cultures. So we have to understand different cultures. So this is a starting point. And poverty and development issues are very important. As I told you, in Asia, there are big gap between poor country and rich country. When I went to the Manila in Nabotas area, so I witnessed this very poor situation. So we have to discuss how to alleviate those poverty in Asia. So still, I don't have any answer. Very, very difficult. If I have an answer, I already did some project, but we need very long-term approach on this poverty issue. So I hope in this youth leaders forum, next session is workshop and discussion. I hope you will have a deep discussion on these issues. Okay, today UN organization insists sustainable development. You know where on those ecological footprint is very important. So all those issues maybe you are very familiar, so I will skip it. Okay, as I told, qualification for global citizens, we need non-cognitive skills. So you have to cultivate your own non-cognitive skill personally. In this morning session, we had a leadership lecture on leadership. So as director of UNESCO SEAMEO, how can I say, I'm leader of my own organization. I'm in charge of UNESCO SEAMEO. We have 30 regular staff and sometimes 60, including those temporary staff. Every day, every time, I face all those how can I say, the leadership problem. sometimes I need very decisive. I have to quickly decide something very important issues, only the very limited time. And also the all those my fellow staff, I have to take care of all my staff personal issues or interpersonal communication, all those issues. So leadership is the everyday facing issues for me. So this is not only from all those issues pick up in other the research or that. This is my own experience from my UNESCO SEAMEO. I need empathy. I have to understand. I have to have same feeling or the all those ability with my young staff, and I have to care them. And communication skill. Communication is one of the most difficult things. I have to listen carefully and exactly, and also speak exactly, and there's some mutual dialogue. Not one way talking or so. This is mutual communication is very important. And tolerance. How much I should be tolerant for my staff if they had some mistake or something. Every time I face such a very difficult question, every minute, every time. And mutual understanding. So you are here. So I say we have to understand each other. How much we understand each other. We were from the different culture, different nation. So this is most difficult qualification. So, but 21st century need such a qualification. So, yeah. UNESCO also started study, research on this qualification. So-called non-cognitive skill or non-cognitive competencies or the transversal competencies or 21st century skill. So educators in Asia Pacific countries got together and regularly meet and study on 21st century skill. Non-cognitive skill. This will be the main agenda of international community. So you have to catch up all those new trends. So, okay, this is key components of a global, as a global citizen. You have to have a holistic approach, not fragmented, But all your education, all your academic career or practice, all fragmented by language course or the mathematics, science, and social science. But the reality, real society is not like this. Real society is what almost all the interconnected, and so you need holistic approach. This is very important. And also no one-way communication, dialogue. Yeah. Dialogue with your friends, your parents. It's not every day in my home. I have 2 sons. It's not easy to talk with them. Even though they are my family, my son, my wife, the dialogue is not easy, they have a different perception. Young generations are living in a different culture. I have to understand all those new culture. Without understanding on the new culture, we cannot communicate exactly. So please reflect your home. Do you have a very good time with your father? Yeah. Okay. So in your house, at home, in your company or the university, if you don't have such a communication skill or understanding, you cannot dare to be a community leader or the Asian leader or the global leader. So starting from you, you have to talk with yourself. Talking with yourself is very important. So how reflect yourself every day, and also you talk. Myself. I recognize myself inside. I have to talk with myself and reflect. All this process is the starting point. And then in your family, with your family, and with your colleagues in your company or your organization, you have to have a very peaceful human relationship, and you have to know how to properly manage all those human relationships. This is key. So you can apply all those skills to community and also Asia and in the world. So, and perspective and values. Tomorrow there's the lecture on ethics. The world is so different, For example, in Korea, from 1950 to almost end of 1990s, Korea was very much corrupted country. And compared to today, the value system is what the ethical level of ethics was not very high. But today, 21st century needs very transparent, very high level of ethics, all the manners, all clear. So if you closely look inside Korea, a lot of high officials are criticized by those ethical issues. So every day there's design by those high government officials or politicians, or even though in the military, the general or chief of staff, they design by those ethical issues because, wow, only half, but already time passed. They were educated, they were raised without such a high level of ethical standard, but the whole environment changed. The community needs very transparent, high standard of ethics. So you are young, you are attending this Young Leaders Forum. So from today, you have to have a very high level of ethical, maintain the high level of ethical standard. So if you want to be a leader of the society. And critical thinking is very important, as you know. Okay, this is what the almost same terminology, education for international understanding and learning to live together and global citizenship education. So maybe all participants here, you are hearing all those terms first, but this is 21st century agenda. So you have to, I hope you will study more on these issues. Learning to live together is the key concept of UNESCO, and global citizenship education is an emerging issue in UN. Okay, I will skip it. this is all. I will leave all those my presentation in here, so you can study more after this meeting end. Okay, this is a slide to show, only one slide, put all those global issues all together. In Jomtien, Thailand, 1990, the Education for All started. This is very important. And then in Dhaka, Senegal, 2000, EFA adopted the framework of action. And 2001, UN adopted MDG. You know MDG, Millennium Development Goals. You have to know all those 8 goals. And 2005 to 2014, those 10 years UN Decade for Sustainable Development, DESD. And during that time, 2012, in East Timor, do you remember from East Timor? UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon and Madame Irina Bokova, UNESCO Director General, went to the East Timor and initiated Global Education First Initiative. So this is a critical moment, 2012. So we will end all those global agenda. So in this year, 2014, we will have a meeting on ESD. So we will discuss the post-ESD issues in Nagoya. And then next year, early May next year in Korea, we will discuss on post-EFA. And September 2015, UN will adopt, or member states will adopt post-MDGs. So we are living in very critical moment. Only within those 2 years, 2014 and 2015, all member states of UN, UNESCO, will decide global agenda, global education agenda, and then it will last by 2030. 15 years global goal will be decided by those 2 years. So you have to study on these global issues. So this is EFA. I don't have time, so I will skip all those details. EFA 6 goals adopted. Among those 6 goals, only 2 involved in Millennium Development Goal, MDG, 8 goals. This will be ended soon. Mr. Ban Ki-moon initiated Global Education First Initiative. We call it JEP or GEPI. There are 3 priorities. Those 3 priorities, the number 3, forced global citizenship is the most important part. So those 6 EFA, JEP picked up 2 from the EFA, and the last one is new one. That's why I emphasized the importance of post-global citizenship. So this is, as I told, we are living in a very most critical moment. Okay, this is additional one, only the appendix of this my presentation. You are the first time in this lecture, UN system, UN organization. You are not familiar on the UN, so I will introduce this. So UN, there are so many UN agencies, specialized agencies, program, and all those. So more than 50 UN agencies in the world, government, international government, IGOs. So if you want to be a global leader, so you can cultivate your own dream to be a international civil servant. So please, all those information are open to everybody. If you click all UN agencies, you can get all those information. Asians, the UN agencies are very, very, what all came from the Western culture, not from the Asia or the Latin America or African countries. It all, the root came from all those Europe, So UN agencies, UN system is not familiar to Asians, but slowly Asians are the leader in these UN agencies. The first leader was the Mr. Utak from Myanmar in the 1960s, and many Japanese like this, and Korean and Chinese became head of UN agencies. I hope the Southeast Asian, you have the opportunity. All those UN agencies are based on geographical distribution. So as Asian, as a Southeast Asian, you can be a leader in UN agencies. So I really hope you will challenge in this new area. Very famous, prominent Thai diplomat, Mr. Surin. He was very well-known person in UN community. He was former ASEAN Secretary General. So you can practice your own those career in the ASEAN or the other regional organization, and you can challenge to more global UN agencies. I hope you will have such a dream. And UNESCO is based in Paris on International Organization, Education, Science, and Culture. The Madame Irina Bokova is Director General of UNESCO. So UN agencies encourage the female, the woman, to apply to global, international civil servants. You know, all those are the UNESCO is well on the global World Heritage Site. Also, UNESCO published General History of Central Asia. So this is my hope. We will have a general history of Southeast Asia or the East Asia. So in the future, 2012, 20 or 2030, all classes in Southeast Asia or Asia, we study with our history with one common history book. Okay, Silk Road project is UNESCO project, so I will skip it, and then shortly I will introduce UNESCO APSEU. This is located in Seoul. This is UNESCO Cater to Center signed by our government and UNESCO. So Cater to Center means member states provide financial resource, but all those work for UNESCO. We are working for 47 Asian countries. So this is our building in Seoul. This is a UNESCO center. That's why we have international, multinational staff. So we recruit very young staff from Asia, Southeast Asia. We have one Myanmar lady as our regular staff. We have one Filipino gentleman. Okay, we have an annual training workshop like this. Last June in Yangon, we had the training workshop. I will skip it. This is a research project. One is a shared history of Southeast Asia. Started this year, and those 4-year project. And next is everyday objects of Southeast Asia and Korea with the SEAMEO SPAFA. And we will publish book in this. We published so many publication like this. You have a book in your bag. This is a co-project with SPAFA. Okay, we have an English magazine and all those publications in your own country, Bahasa Indonesia and Vietnamese. We have a photo class and photo archive. Also, we exchange teachers with those countries. Your country also Mongolia, Philippines, Indonesia, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, Vietnam next year, and Uzbekistan and Australia, Singapore, UK, USA, Russia. So this is teacher exchange program. I hope we will have the youth exchange program. So this is a very good start. Okay, please click my APSEU's website. You can get more information on this. So for the global citizenship education, we initiate the first meeting in Korea last year. This is, and last December, we had the UNESCO Forum on Global Citizenship Education. So this year, from this year and 2015, this is all series of international conference. So in Nagoya, November, we will have a World Conference on ESD, and next January, UNESCO Forum on GCE, and in New York, UN Forum on GCE, and in Korea, UNESCO World Education Forum, and UN General Assembly. Through all those international events, I hope UNESCO APSEU will be designated Global Center for Global Citizenship Education. Madame Irina Bokova, she came to my office and stayed. We had the dialogue with her for 2 hours. So this is my dream. You have your dream. And the last morning session, the willing and ability. You know, I have willing and also willing and able to be to make global center for global citizenship education. So this is Asia. Asia is the biggest continent, but still intolerant. But there's a very good sign from the Indonesia. The Mr. Jokowi elected as president. This is real Southeast Asian democracy. No, the title is in South Asia. Indonesia is role model for democracy. This is a very good sign for Southeast East Asia and Asian countries. So I hope you will be a global citizen and also a youth leader. You will be a lifelong learner and facilitator of a community and front runner of innovation. This morning we discussed on the leadership. I would like to emphasize the importance of you have to respect your follower. The servant leadership is more important than any the hierarchical or the bureaucratic leadership. You know, you have to respect your colleagues, your friends, your families, and your all those your followers. So that is a servant leadership. So I believe I am asking you, who changed the world and people? You, young generation. I believe the power of youth, the Lord of youth. You have a power. You can change the world. So I hope you will have better knowledge, experience, well equipped by these very important meetings. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chung Utak, for that insightful presentation. Can we request you to please stay at the table so that we can request the participants? We have actually we have 3 reactors for this particular session. So you will be given 3 minutes each to react. Our first reactor is Nang Ai Aiten. Our second reactor is Frankie. And our third reactor is Nico. So shall we start with Nang Ai Aiten? Oh, there she is. Here's the mic. So just like earlier, we just asked our reactors to react first, and then you can answer their questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chen, for your great presentation. I have learned a lot from your presentation. And before I ask you a question, I would like to point out one fact about the Rohingyas thing. You know, actually, in Myanmar, we don't call them Rohingya anymore. We recognize them as Bengali because they migrant from Bangladesh. And actually, the problem is not based on the religions thing. it is because of the communal violence. So yeah, that's what I want to point out. And I have actually another question. I want you to elaborate a bit more global citizenship education, because you don't mention any topic, like just give us some examples. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that. And can we ask Frankie? Where's Frankie? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Chung Utak, for delivering us and enlightening us this great speech and great thought, of course, great source for everybody who belong to this globals. We all aware that we are part of the global citizens, and here he mentioned the requirement to be the global citizens. But beside that, I want to add some point that being a global citizen and have understanding in global citizens is better, but it's really better we have global competitiveness, global qualifications, but we have grassroots understanding where we are, the country we are coming from. Because most leaders nowadays, they have global understandings to address the global issue, but they don't understand, even they don't care, local issue that everybody know that need to solve. That's why everybody, or for all the delegates here, being a global citizen is important, but it's most important being have deep understanding in grassroots level. And global citizens, we have empathy and sympathy, because global issue we have facing many issues such as poverty, education, environmental issue. Those problems couldn't address until now, because we just believe to the peoples in higher levels, or we just believe what we call, or everybody must know, in CSR. We just believe in a corporate social responsibility. Give chance to every corporate to make contribution or doing some help for helping the people who have lack of opportunity for education, and force the corporate to help feed the poor people, send them to school. But it's not enough. That's why until now, the global issue is stand until now. So, besides that, in some countries already have campus social responsibility. So every campus or student of the university have opportunity or have obligation to help the people or the child who have not opportunity to schools, but it also doesn't work. So, what I may add is we should have citizens' responsibility. If we are the citizens of the country, or if we are the citizens of the globals, we have to take charge as the responsible for every issue that we face. And we have to aware that social issue is also belonging to us. And of course, for having awareness of the belonging to this issue, we can solve it together, not alone.
Thank you,
And
Frankie. Can you wrap up, please? Yeah.
So I have some question for me. Doctor, is just now you mentioned that here we have more than 50 global international issue, but for more than global international issue, why until now so many international issue they couldn't address it professionally or properly. What is wrong? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Frankie. Shall we ask Nico to speak?
Hello. Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Utak Chung. I'm Nico from Indonesia. I think this is a hard topic about global issue. And we are talking about soon to be, we are going to be a global citizen. And from global citizen, we are making a like global village, like Thomas Friedman say. But this is a big dream. This is something big that we need to achieve. And I would like to know that what are the steps that UNESCO already set to achieve that goal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I will give a chance to Dr. Chung to respond to that, please.
Thank you very much for your question. Very good questions. The first one is from Myanmar. All those issues, you are the expert. I'm only touched the issue, but I hope you will explain more all those participants on these dispute issues in Myanmar. So, and I skip all those what the global citizenship education is because by the time constraint. As I told you, the peace, human rights, all those cultural diversity and sustainable development issues. If we have such a key components, that we call it global citizenship education, and also we have to have a global perspective, and also we have the knowledge on those global issues. So this is a common, but very simple definition of a global citizenship education. Still. There's a discussion is going on in international academic society and UNESCO, so it will develop continuously. And the second question from East Timor, yeah, every time 2 months ago here in Bangkok, we had a meeting on Asia Pacific conference on education, on ministers meeting on Minister of Education meeting in Bangkok. When we had that meeting and there's a session on global citizenship education, and also the ministers from Asia also raised such a question. There's a big tension between global issues and local issues, and all those Asian countries, it's very diverse. So I believe it depends on your own country's history and situation. Some countries are very globalized country. For example, Singapore is, without any global society, Singapore cannot sustain. And also, a country, for example, East Timor need more nationalistic or nation-state building. So just 10, 20 years history, and the first priority is nation building, not global issues. So the Asia Pacific countries are very diverse, so it depends on the country's history. But this is my very general prediction on the future, because based on my experience when I was elementary school, I still remember that in Korea, at that time the radio, no any TVs, in the radio there's soccer games, football games, or basketball games, but in Manila or in Bangkok and Jakarta, I had a dream to visit such a very advanced cities and countries. That time 1960s. So I'm looking young, but I'm almost 60s. In the 1960s, my elementary school days. Southeast Asia is a very advanced country, and the Manila, Jakarta, and Bangkok is my dream to visit. So, but by those in this morning, the keynote speaker, by the policy on the industry. So today you have a dream to come to Korea, or you have a lot of have a dream, something on, but this is, how can I say, this is the trends, in the history, in personal history or the country's history, is ups and downs, like this. So I cannot predict when I was young, I can have this kinds of job and travel all those Southeast Asia. I believe you are living in 2014 today in Bangkok, but maybe most of you will travel all over the world by those 2030, and yeah, the world will not like this, 2030 or 2050. So you have to prepare and yourself for the coming age and coming world society. That's why I mentioned about, even though there is a tension between local, global, and what the patriotism and the nationalism, and even though today the global citizenship is very weak and only the emerging issues, but 10 years later or 20 years later, this will be the main trends. Nobody knows where. You have to think about this. Yeah. And okay, we need such a balance. And the last one, Indonesia, you mentioned. I forgot.
I asked about global village is a big dream. So what are the steps that
to go to there?
Yeah.
So I already mentioned during my lecture. From yourself. You have to talk with yourself. You have to very reflective person. What on your behavior or your or your philosophy and your thinking, and then you have to have a very how can I say, very good manners, skill, or all those, as I told before, the empathy and care to others, and respect your fellows, and having very good relationship with the parents and family, your brothers and sisters and your friends. This is the basic, the starting point. And also you can be a very good leader in your community, and then in Asia and in globe. So this is one of my the suggestion. And also I hope you will have a open-minded, even though you are Indonesian, you focus more on Indonesia, but every day you have, I hope you will lead all those global issues, what happened in the Syria, on Iraq, and in Hong Kong today, and why Hong Kong, the students protest, and what is the issues. You have to have such a interest in global issues. This is very important. And also, so study more on global issues than your own. I mean, the local issue is very important. Also, I really wanted you have to balance between those local and global. Usually, how can I say, more inclined to the local and national issues. This is what human beings. But you have to cultivate yourself to be a more global person. This is my suggestion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chung, Dr. Chung Utak. Yeah, that's a good point by Dr. Chung Utak, that we have to be curious all the time about global and local issues. In honor of our speaker, can we request our director of SEAMEO SPAFA to please present a token